and welcome to the D.I.Y Talk with Amy. It's me back again on episode number 4, talking all things JoJo filtration systems. I'm with my co-host, Munya. How's it?
Hey, how are you, everyone? Nice to be back again, talking all things for you. Today we've got Jeremy. He's affected when it comes to water. Water is life and everything. This scare that's going on, it's not really a scare, but it's like a typhoon popping up all over the places, and these issues of water coming out of our taps that's not so good in certain areas. So we got Jeremy here who might have a solution. Well, I think he definitely has a solution for you. How are you, Jeremy? How are you doing?
All right, Munya. Thanks for having me.
He's from JoJo. Yeah, he's going to go into how these things work here.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for coming through. But not to scare you with all these questions. I just have an ice-breaking question. If you had to time travel, right, where would you go to?
Sure. Wow, what a question. Time travel, if I had to, I think I'll go back to my high school days.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, obviously, as we grow older and we learn and become wiser, we always want to know, if I knew back then what I know now.
Hindsight.
How much different would it be?
Hindsight.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I would do. But yeah, it's a question of God, but I think that's basically what I would do.
Yeah, I think I've always wanted to try time travel. Because when you dream about things that happened in your past, you're like, oh wow, can I go back to that? Or so that was a very interesting topic that I wanted to delve into.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to go back to high school. I mean, I went to boarding school. I woke up at 4 a.m. every day.
I think he was a naughty child.
It was boarding school.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for allowing us to pester you and ask you so many questions about filtration system. It is important, like Munya has said, people are dying due to dirty or unfiltered water. There's cholera, there's typhoid. There are those diseases that are coming up now with the water system. So I think this was important for us.
Right.
So going into it and diving into the questions, I think my first important question to you is, what are the key factors of JoJo filtration systems?
Very interesting question, Amy. So basically, the key factors in our filtration is actually the filter media in this filtration. And the filter media that we emphasize, or the filter media that we run across all of these filtration systems, is called the disruptor technology. And people will be like, okay, disruptive technology. What do you mean?
I pick up the word disruptive.
Disruptor. It's disrupting
technology. Nobody needs something that's a game changer. It's a game changer.
So basically, it's new technology that's been on the market that obviously JoJo has now brought on these filtration systems. Okay. And in the filtration system, this disruptive filter media is actually a 3-in-1 filter media.
Okay.
And what we mean by 3-in-1 is that the disruptive technology on its own has an electro-absorption functionality, it has powder-activated carbon, and it's got silver. Which obviously, if we break it down, electro-absorption, we always find that terminology, adsorption, absorption. They are two different things that do two different things. Okay. So absorption is obviously absorbing, but adsorption is something in addition.
Okay.
So basically, with the electro-absorption functionalities, that disruptor, when it gets wet, the media picks up a charge, so that anything negative, it will attract to the filter media. Okay. Then we know powder-activated carbon. Before it was granular, and now they come with technology where they heat treat it, and then it became powder-activated carbon, which obviously traps more contaminants on a bigger surface area, which is obviously in the filter media as well. And then when we speak about silver, we all know silver is a disinfectant.
Yeah.
So you've got a filter media that's trapping all these contaminants, but people want to know what's happening with the contaminants.
Yeah.
The silver is disinfecting it. So let's say by chance, anything that's passed through the filter that's been trapped, it's not harmful anymore because your silver has actually disinfected it already.
It actually kills the microbes.
It actually kills whatever that's been trapped inside the system.
Wow, that's very interesting. Okay, so again, I would like to understand which of the two would work best in the household? Are there any other bigger filtration systems that Jojo provides to carry a home, so it's an everyday use type of thing, or is this just plainly for water consumption, so you're drinking water and that's it?
Okay, Amy, so basically the filtration systems we have, there's a variety that we brought on the market, right?
Okay.
We've got filter bottles, okay,
Yeah.
which obviously is not more in the retail market than the retail sector.
Yeah.
We've also brought in jugs as well, but obviously that's also not more for retail. We look more at household selling. So somebody would go house shopping, would look for something like that. And your bottles is more for hiking and traveling and all of that. So that will be more for outdoor. But then the filters that we've stuck more in the retail is obviously our countertop, our under sink filter unit, and our inline is there. And on a bigger scale, we've got whole house. Okay. So basically, these filter media obviously have certain uses, like your countertop and under sink. That is more point of entry use. So basically, if you just want to have water for drinking purposes, that the water you are using is just that you want to make sure it's safe to drink, but obviously using it further into a household, you're not worried about it, then you would use this filter media. Our inline filter we brought is more adapting to the rural market, because what happened is that, remember, we've got urbanized kind of style, but then we've also got the rural market who cannot afford the urbanized kind of style of filter media. So the inline filter was brought in as a single disruptor tube. We supply you with hose clippings that sits on either end of the filter media. And in the rural, we know there's obviously a tank that's on a brick platform, there's a tap, but their water collection could be a tanker, could be rain harvesting, and they don't know what is the quality of water in it. So for something on a cheaper scale for a rural market, the inline, you will just need to adapt a hose pipe to the existing tap that's on the tank and then pass that through, and your inline will actually filter the water for you.
That's handy.
Nice.
On the bigger scale is the whole house filter. So obviously, if you don't want something on a small scale, but you want something on a bigger scale, if you want actually to be actually filtering the water throughout your household, or obviously your building or your business, then we would look at our whole house filter.
Oh, okay. Very, very, very interesting, right? Yeah.
So tell me, I see these things look pretty fancy, all shiny and stuff. So tell me, these things, are they like, is it like a lifetime thing? Because I think they look like cartridges there. Do you have to change them every now and again? Or what's going on with that?
So Munya, basically, all filter media do have obviously a lifespan that we keep. It's an average lifespan that we speak about, but basically it boils down to that whatever the filter media is trapping in its filter system, it's obviously going to clog up. So you would then obviously have to change it over time. It depends on the water quality that you are filtering. So with average that we speak about, like your countertop and undersink, is 3,000 liters, up to 3,000 liters, or every 6 months you would look at changing it. And then our inline filter, that is 1,500 liters, or every 3 months you would look at changing it, depending on the water quality that you are filtering. The whole house filter, it's more on a bigger scale. We look at about 80,000 liters, but 6 to 12 months, also depending on the water quality that you are filtering.
Okay. So I think I have a question, right? That's just popped up in my head. Okay. So in like your farm lands, where somebody owns a plot of land, they have a borehole system, right? So I know or I've heard before that borehole systems have a different taste in water, right? So does this work also on those borehole systems? Because I think the borehole system is you dig up, right? You dig up,
you draw.
and then you
It's
drill.
actually, it's actually
So the
like,
water is coming from the ground.
Underground spring.
So that is obviously not really clean water, is it?
Generally, majority of the times it may not be because of the region or the area you are.
Yeah.
We know that a lot of farming communities,
with all the mining going on.
mining, if it's mining areas, if it's obviously farming where we know sanitation services is not available and then septic tanks is used. Remember, septic tanks do have a runoff of an overflow that goes into a French drain that starts seeping to ground. And I mean, if we look at that kind of water contamination, that can always bring up your cholera and all of the other bacteria that can seep into this spring waters on the ground. But when we talk about boil water, it's more on a different scale, because Boiled water can come with a lot more other contaminants, ions, minerals, and all other bacterial formation that's in there.
Okay.
Our disruptive technology that is brought up with this 3-in-1 would take away everything that's bad.
Oh,
Is
okay.
it?
But whatever is good in the water will pass through because it doesn't pick up it bad.
Oh, that's
So
very
when we
nice.
look at the electroabsorption functionality we spoke about, remember there's a positive and a negative charge of certain materials.
Yeah.
So we will say like a positive attracts to a negative. We say opposites attract.
Yeah.
So we would look at it as your negative is the bad in water, your disruptor is the positive.
Okay.
But whatever's passing through it, if it has a positive, it wouldn't attract. If it has a negative, it would attract.
Okay.
So because the disruptive filter media takes out bad, but lets your minerals go through, you can find there's a lot of minerals in boiled water. Then there's different systems and other filtration media to actually decrease that kind of minerals in water for it to be better for consumption use. There's always a standard of sands that they apply to for drinking purposes where there's certain levels of ions and materials that need to be in water that is for consumption for human. If those levels are out, then you would look at additional filtration systems to actually adjust it. But if your borehole water is mainly purely bad taste or it's got bad bacteria in it, the disruptor will do the job for you. But if it's got high contaminants of minerals, it may not take it away from you. It may pass through. And too much minerals also can be a problem for your body.
Yeah, like they say, too much of something is always bad. So too much of water is not good. Also, yeah. No, I think also I just want to find out from you, what would you say are the advantages of having in your household a JoJo filtration system?
So basically, what's very nice about the JoJo filtration system is that you wouldn't need electricity for this filtration to obviously operate. We know in today's times, load shedding is obviously an issue. But the thing is, our filtration meter doesn't need no electricity.
Okay.
You waste no water offhand. So basically, once you start up, it's just purely a quick flash for a few seconds and your filtration system is ready to use. So when we look at all of those kind of things, those are stuff that people need where, especially with the inline filter, you would just need a tap and a hose pipe to actually make the water filter, which is quite simple.
Nice. Okay, and my last question, because I know Munya might have a few for you to boost up your sales confidence.
Yes.
My last question would be, how effective are JoJo water filtration systems in day-to-day use? How effective are they in terms of people who use them on a general day-to-day?
You see, Amy, the thing is, especially now with a lot of people with the scare of cholera in certain areas, and we know that our service delivery in specific municipalities of the upkeep of clean drinking water, where we used to be the blue drop water status, where we had the best drinking water in the world, is actually dropped. And certain provinces and areas in Gauteng, and obviously if you look at South Africa as a whole, there's areas where you cannot drink water at all because of contamination. That purely boils down to obviously water and the treatment of it and how good is getting treated now that it's actually coming through our taps that we're ready to drink it. So when we look at that kind of process, the disruptor is there because majority of the water that comes from our taps is full with chlorine, it's full of bacteria, it's full of viruses, and we don't know which other contaminants is also in water that is not yet treated before it comes to our taps. Our disruptive technology has been proven in the most infected E. coli water. So we've taken disruptive to some strenuous tests where we've actually taken it to highly infested levels of E. coli. And when it passed through the disruptor, they came out zero, no trace at all.
Sure. Interesting.
Okay, my last question. Oh, actually, someone asked me this on the floor here when I was with them. Does this work with hot water? Can hot water pass this? Is this system meant for hot water?
We generally don't say use for hot water. Because basically you don't drink hot water. It's obviously a media of trying to say, I'm thirsty, I want to drink water. Nobody goes and drink hot water. Everybody says, I would like a cold glass of water. Because that's what it was. So you don't really drink hot water. But the thing is also heat as well does have a factor of cleaning already for you. We know in the olden times, they say that to actually drink water, you boil it for a rolling minute, and then it's ready to drink.
Yeah.
But what happens with boiling of water is that you lose everything in water, the good, the bad, everything. So basically, your water is drinkable, but there's no good in it for you anymore. So we basically boils down to like dead water. There is nothing wrong with it, but there is no benefit for you also. That's supposed to be the good in it.
Through your disruptive system.
That's correct.
Water through your disruptive system and you're good
Yes,
to go.
that's it. So when we look at municipal water, it's mainly boiled down to chlorine, taste, smell. So those are treatments that's maybe not happening before it's coming to somebody's tap. Your disruptor for the media is there to take care of our
Nice. I think all the information that you've given us, I think, are very essential when it comes to selling. So I think this information is just a boost to all our sales team members at Mercury. And yeah, thank you so much, Jeremy, for coming through, giving us the time to explain. I don't think it's the end of you coming through. We still have to have you again, because all the technical information might be too much to take in. However, if you are interested in the water filtration system from Jojo, it is available at Mercury Build It, and also available online. So you can purchase your products online or in store. And Mercury Build It, we are available in Dal Park, number 11, Beechwood Street, Dal Park Extension 19, Brakpan. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Again, thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Munya.
It's been a pleasure. It's been great.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.